friendships, relationships, coming of age, moving, healing from trauma, all of these things, they are things that change a lot in your mid-20s. And when they say that your frontal lobe develops when you're like 25 to 26, it's checked in, it's here, because my prefrontal cortex did some dips, flips, and tricks and some alley-oops this past year, and it's there. I can feel it. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some things that you learn in between your mid-20s up until 26. We're going to be talking about 26 life lessons I learned by the age of 26. By the way, my birthday is August 31st, and I will be, you know it, 26 years old. So hey, shout out to all the Virgos. Anyways, let's get into the video. Okay, getting straight into number one. This is number one for a reason. Be selfish. I'm serious. Do you hear me? Be selfish. Okay, a lot of us are taught to not be selfish, to be very selfless, but I also feel in this age that we're in, it's important to know what you want to do in your life, what you don't want to do, what your boundaries are, what your boundaries are not. And that's a little bit difficult to come into yourself when you're not putting the things and your wants and your needs first. Number two, boundaries are how you claim your peace. Boundaries, what are they? Let's talk about them. Putting people in your life into different categories based upon how often or how much of their energy that you want to consume. Because some people, including friends and family, close family, they should only be there for a little portion of your time, and you don't want to suck in that energy because they could be draining. Boundaries could also mean that you say yes to some plans of hanging out, but no to others. Or maybe no to most plans, especially if you are introverted like me and you like your own space, and it's also not about being a yes man. So boundaries are your peace. Number three, friends come and go, and that's okay. This is part of being selfish, okay? So this also deals with relationships, which I'm going to talk about more towards the latter part of the video. But friends come and go. If you are a person who has a high level of discernment about who you want to be consuming your energy, if you have a high level of discernment about who you pick, if you're a little picky, let yourself be picky, okay? Because there's a reason that you have a discernment about some of the people that you have in your corner. And there's a reason why maybe you don't have as many people in your corner as you see other people having, because it's not about the quantity of people. Have you ever sat around yourself and felt a little lonely, even though you were around multiple groups of people? Maybe those people were people that you just met. Maybe you know them for a while, but you're surrounded, but you still feel lonely. Yeah, that's because you want to pick the people who you hang around very wisely. And people who have a lot of people in their cliques, that can be deceiving. It's not about the numbers or the amount of people that you have. It's about the quality of those individuals, honestly, because one person and their time with you, their attention with you, and their care and their level of respect and affection for you can make up for having 5 people who do the bare minimum. So the quality of people that you have around with you is so much more important, because those quality of people will oftentimes fill the gaps that we're often seeking to have in many, many different people or many, many different things to fulfill our joy. Number 4, healing is not a linear path. Somewhere during the last 3 maybe years of my life, I started to realize that healing should not be like a end goal that we're trying to get to. Sort of like happiness, more so joy should not be a end goal that you're trying to reach in life. But a lot of us see it like that. A lot of us see it as like, okay, when I've done X, Y, and Z, and when I've gone to this many therapy sessions, and when I've forgiven this many people, I will have been healed from this. However, what life really is like a multitude of things happening at once, and things like the earth is going to spin on its axis whether you move with the seasons or not. Life is still going to happen. So what happens is we heal a little bit from something, or maybe we heal a lot from it, and then like something else is always going to happen or occur that puts you back in a state of maybe like fight or flight, or something's going to happen where it scratches on old wounds, and you have to make a decision like how to react to it. And based upon that reaction, you might notice that you've become a lot mature, you've become a lot better at reacting to situations so that they don't affect you as much. But healing itself, some things like we just have to accept that maybe we won't fully heal from them, because maybe the point isn't to fully heal from something. Maybe the point is to be in a continuous state of progression and not a continuous state of trying to rush to a destination so that we can finish the race, because there's never anything to finish. The only thing that we're promised in life is that we're gonna die someday, and that's just the truth. Number 5, your body will tell you what your mind doesn't want to admit. Sometimes the mind just wants to be so logical, and trust what your body feels. One thing that really changed the game was number 6, leveling up my financial knowledge. And I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not my advice. This is just what I learned. Putting my money in different places, like different types of accounts. I opened a Roth IRA this year. I invested in more stocks, cryptocurrency, oil companies, gas companies, things that appreciate in value over a long period of time, and not just seeing money as something that's meant to put in a savings account. But savings accounts are good too, but I just know that over time, I'm going to be more set when I get older, because my money is going towards things that are going to make me more money over time. So that's it. Number 7, pain is meant to be felt. Let that sink in. Once you feel it, there is a season where you should no longer just wallow in it, but allow it to naturally pass. This is part of a thing called emotional maturity, knowing that emotions are a part of being human and they're not a signal of weakness. I mean, weakness is also a part of being human too. So what's the problem with being weak? Honestly, I say in my weakness, God is strong for me, because I feel when I'm personally feeling pain, that's when the divine nature of God that lives within us is able to give us that discernment about how to move, about when to shift out of the pain, about how much we should wallow in it, what we should do about it. And that gives me all the answers that I need to know. So feel your pain and give it to God. Number 8, sometimes being lost is a good thing. This deals a lot with your own spiritual, like wherever you are in your own spiritual journey, in your own walk with God, because sometimes when you can't see the next step that's happening, it can feel very draining. It can feel very frustrating. It can feel very scary. You're always going through a cycle. You're either coming out of a cycle that you just went through, or you just went through a storm or a hardship, or you're currently in one. So if you're in a storm and you can't see like past the fog in front of you, being lost can be a good thing, because it can help you trust God more. I'm a believer in trusting God. Number 9, community is super powerful. Having people beside you is more powerful than you know, wherever that community is. Number 10, keep acting as if you have more to learn, because you do. You always have more to learn. You don't know everything. And it's all about having an open mind, because you can't grow if you don't learn. Number 11, anxiety does not mean that you're weak. Number 12, rest is productive. We have a lot of stressors, a lot of things that can stress us out at this point in time. So prioritize your rest, whatever that looks like. Number 13, forgiveness is for you, not for them. I think a lot of people mistake forgiveness for being a pushover, like letting someone continue to come back into your proximity in the same way that they were in your proximity when the betrayal happened, whatever the betrayal was. Is like forgiveness can happen from afar. A Buddha quote that says, forgiveness Harboring forgiveness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Sometimes we think that harboring unforgiveness and harboring a grudge against another person is their punishment for what they did to you. But what's really happening is we're punishing ourselves because we're unhappy. We can't let something go, and it's because of us. We're not letting it go. But the other person could go on living their lives, not even being impacted by your harboring because they're over it. They've gotten over it. And even if another person isn't able to see how it hurt you, sometimes the reason why we're harboring it is because we just want the other person to feel our pain. Realizing that it's really not about the other person, just make it about you and make it about your own peace of mind and forgive. I know it's not that easy, but the more and more you start to hear it, someday it will click and be like, oh yeah, I need to let that go. Number 14, career-wise, switch it up. Switch it up. I think that in this age that we're in the year of our Lord 2025, are you staying in somewhere that you hate, like a job that you hate or a career that you hate just because you don't think that there's any other way to make ends meet other than that? Or are you passing up on opportunities to maybe start your own business or do the things that you're more passionate about because you are just concerned about making a paycheck in order to survive? Like, making a paycheck in order to survive is like one of the most miserable ways to live. I'm sorry, because I know there's a lot of people living that way, and sometimes it doesn't feel like there's any other way to live. I think that one of the main solutions is that in this day and age, we need to find more things that satisfy us and maybe still use the skills that we have in a different job, in a different career, maybe in a whole different field, and don't be afraid to switch it up. Then I will go into number 15, which is to always have your hobbies on the side of your job. For a lot of younger people, especially because of the way that our economy has shifted, if you do have a job, you probably have like maybe one or two other part-time jobs just to make ends meet, especially if you're paying rent, living in a more urban area. However, if you are able to have just maybe even 10 minutes or 15 minutes sometime in your day, whether it be the evenings or the weekends, work on a side hobby. Maybe it is building up your own business. Maybe it is knitting. Maybe it's playing an instrument, the piano or the guitar. Maybe it's drawing, but some type of hobby, because you will be doing something else that makes you happy and brings you peace. Even if you're not gaining any monetary value from it, you're gaining some mental value from it. This is one of the things that I do, the hobbies on the side, which is YouTube. And I do make a little check on the side or whatever for YouTube, and that's okay. But still, it's something that I still really enjoy. It feeds my creativity. So the more creative that you are outside of your job, the better it will be for your mental health. Number 16, propaganda that I'm not falling for is there's a certain time that is right for you or appropriate for you to be doing certain things. Like, for example, still in school, or for example, when it's time to get married or when it's time to have kids. I think a lot of us, when we're younger, we have this timeline of events that at this age, I'm going to get married. At this age, I'm going to have kids. And then reality hits. And when you get older, you're like, do I even want that? Like, do I even want it in the way that I saw it and envisioned in my head when I was younger? Because a lot of those things, they change, and how you want to do those things change if you still want to do those things. And then you realize that everyone is on their own path. It's kind of like you're on a highway and there's like a million different lanes, and each lane is for a different person. You're not like in one single lane for every single person, and one person is one behind the other. No, it's like every lane. Some people are in the fast lane, some people are on the slow lane. And then at some points in your life, you'll be going fast, and then other points you'll be slowing down. And it's all up to you and how you want to take it. And there's no right or wrong answer, and there's no good or bad answer anyways. The only thing that makes it good or bad is the amount of pressure that other people put on you around you who are doing the things that seem like the right things to be doing at your age, but it's not right for you if it hasn't happened for you. Obviously, if it were right for you, it would have happened, or it would have been in the cards for you at this time. But it's a blessing that it's not, because you're exactly where you need to be at this specific time. Number 17, confidence is a daily practice. You can be confident anytime, and you can be unconfident one moment, confident the next, unconfident the next. Just know it's okay to teeter-totter. Number 18, people will show you who they really are as soon as you let them. So let them. Everyone that you ever know and that you ever get close with, especially if you get close to them, everyone in your life will betray you at some point. It's true. And sometimes I feel like we hold people to too high of a standard. And in order to be okay with this like detachment from the reality that you often want to happen, oftentimes it doesn't happen. So in order to give people more grace and give you more peace of mind, let people show you who they are, and then you can move accordingly. And never assume something about another person. And also, don't try to mold people into what you want them to be just because you think that that's who they are. People will always change and grow, just like you have changed and grown. So see people in the same way. Number 19, the world is your oyster. At this point in time, at this age, we're still too young to like not take opportunities that come to us because we're scared of doing it, because we think, what if this person, what if that person? You remember number 1 that I said, what did I say in this video? Be selfish. Please be selfish, because it can lead to like so many other possibilities that you never imagined. If you can, change your mind 1,000 times. Change your mind about what you want out of life, what you want to do, who you want to be. Change your mind, change your whole clothes, change everything. I don't care, change it. Number 20, this is important. Be a child for as long as you can. Aren't adults just children in grown-up clothes with bigger heads? A lot of pivotal things happen in our childhood. And in our childhood, we're still super vulnerable. We're still super trusting of the people around us. And it's really difficult to not imagine and think bigger when you're a child. And I feel like a lot of adult responses to adversity is just us trying to get back to our childhood. If you really think about it, adulting forces us to disconnect from a very integral part of ourselves that we're taught to embrace as a child, but then like grow up too quick. And in a lot of ways, it takes us away from our natural state of being imaginative, being creative, being joyous, and laughing at our mistakes and learning as we grow. But have you ever seen a baby give up on anything that it's ever done? One of the hardest things that a baby has to learn how to do by itself is crawl. And then soon enough, they're walking, and they do that all by looking at other people do it, and then they do it. You've never ever seen a baby ever say, oh, this crawling thing is too hard, or this walking thing is so hard, I keep falling on my butt, I'm just gonna crawl and scoot the rest of my life. No, you never see a baby give up. That's because it's in our natural nature to explore and try at things until we get it. So be a child. Number 21 is that gratitude shifts everything. I always end every journal entry or whatever with things that I'm grateful for. And they will be the most basic things. Like, for example, I'm so grateful that I have all 10 of my fingers. And I'm grateful that I have feet that I can walk with, and legs that work, and bones that don't ache. It's the most basic things that literally changes your mind state. I promise you, there's someone who does not have all 10 of their fingers, and they could complain about it, but I bet you they don't, right? Number 22, be unattached to results in everything. Number 23 is let your relationships be the teacher. Every single relationship, and even friendships that you have, are there to teach you something about yourself. When you get into situations and you're thinking about how much time you've already put into it and how much effort you've already put into it, but it's still harming you on the back end, but you're like, I've already put in so much effort to this, so I'm just gonna make it work. It's robbing you from so much growth. Date as many people as you want to, honestly, and find out what are the ways and what are the qualities that you have that you think complement you. What are the qualities that you want in someone else? What are some of the things in life that you thought you wanted as a kid because you saw them on TV? Like, you thought you wanted kids, you thought you wanted a big family, and you thought you wanted to be married by this age. They can change, and you're allowed to change them. And those changes are exactly what happens when you get into every single relationship that you will ever be in your life. It would be so much easier if you went throughout life knowing that you can let go anytime that it's not serving you. Do not have to hold on to something just because of the amount of effort that you've put into it. You can put in all the effort in the world, and that person could be the greatest human being that you've ever met. But the moment that you feel like that relationship is just not for you, then just let it go. It's okay. Let your relationships teach you so that you can be better in the next one. Number 24. The way that you have boundaries is exactly this. This is how you do it. Ready? Say no twice as much as you say yes. Me. Say no twice as much as you say yes. Your yes is more expensive than your no. Number 25. Life is too short not to laugh at yourself. Stop being so dang serious all the time. Laugh at yourself. Joke with other people about the mistakes that you've made, how you've messed up. Just be happy, man. Number 26. The things in life will change as much as they will, as much as they want to. Let them change. Seasons in life will change you, and they will force you to grow and force you to stretch. So the best thing that you can do is be adaptable and release your fears. I know it's easier said than done, but if you don't release your fears, life will push you to the point of such uncomfortability, that you have no other choice. So if you don't choose to do it sooner, then life will make you do it at a more intense rate later. So the sooner, the better. The later, I'm praying for you. The stubborn ones, life has got something for you later on. But hey, those are my 26 things that I've learned by 26. Thanks for watching me blab about these things. Yeah, what videos that you want to see from me, comment them down below. And what age are you, and what is the age that you feel like you came of age? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, have a good one. Until the next video. Peace.